We've got Danny Rick sitting in P9, just behind his replacement at Red Bull in P8, Vachor, or whatever his name is. We've got Kvyat sitting down in P15. We may be able to do something with him, but hey, we're only 8 points behind McLaren. McLaren, remember? Look down there. Where is it? There. That way. There you go, just there. You can see 8 points behind. This is doable. Hello, welcome to Season 2, Episode 24 of Race to the Top. We are here in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. We've only got 4 races to go. As I say in the intro, we're only 8 points behind McLaren, so we've got a real possibility. We've got Danny Rick sitting up in P9, funnily enough. Now, with Kvyat, I'm thinking maybe the fuel economy, maybe, but I think we'll have to go the soft tyres and the race trim, really. I think that's the obvious choice, and that's what we're going to have to do for Ricciardo as well. Soft tyres, race trim. Or do we go super soft tyres? We could do super soft tyres and potentially go. Now, is there any rain due? There's no rain forecast. So I'm going to go the soft tyres. We're going to take a gamble here, and hopefully the race comes back to us. Now, we're going to be starting Danny Kvyat on the soft tyre. It just makes more logical sense. He's at the back of the grid. And what we're going to do is we're going to knock out about 5 laps of fuel out of his car. And we're going to do the same for Danny Rick. But do we start him on the super soft? I think we're going to have to start him on the super soft. And we're going to knock... Let's knock 3 laps of fuel out of him because we want him to go a little bit harder. Driver strategy, of course. I haven't forgotten this time. Normally I do, but I haven't forgotten this time. Obviously, attack and overtake mode. And, yep, let's check out the grid for today's race then. So, Sebastian Vettel is on pole with Valtteri Bottas alongside him. Then it's Lewis Hamilton, the championship leader, in third with Kimi Räikkönen next to him. Then it's Max Verstappen. Nico Hülkenberg doing very, very well up in P6. Renault are really, really pushing. They leapfrogged McLaren earlier on this season. Then we got Massa and Richard Vachor is Ricciardo's replacement. Then you got Daniel Ricciardo, who's now a Toro Rosso driver once more. Sergio Perez next to him in the Force India with Esteban Ocon just behind him. Then it's Carlos Sainz Jr. He's starting on the medium tyres along with Lance Stroll for the Williams. Romain Grosjean in 14th place. Danny Kvyat all the way down in 15th. He's got a little bit of work to do. Mark Webber in 16th. Then it's Nick De Vries, Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button. Keep an eye on those two. The two old guard, is that what you'd say? The old guard from McLaren. Keep an eye on them. We don't want them scoring points. And then you got this Johnny Sissotto Jr. again, 20th place. Let's get into today's race. And let's cut to Ricciardo, because that's where all the action is, really, isn't it? And we zoom in. How is he getting away? Not a bad start there. He's holding off on 9th place quite well. He's got Vachor right ahead of him. He had a little sneaky look, I think, but he decided not to go for it as Kvyat's getting swamped. He's already dropped down to 17th place as there's a big whole host of cars ahead of Ricciardo, but Ricciardo's just holding his own at the moment. He's not in too much of a worry of trying to get past them all. You got Perez just behind as well in 10th place, and then it sort of starts to back off a little bit. There's a bit of a gap from Perez. Alonso's climbed all the way up to 11th. Now, Ricciardo has overtaken Verstappen and having a look at Vachor as well. Excellent work, as he's moved up into P7 at the moment. Excellent stuff, and he's having another look at Massa. Massa's climbed up to 6th place. Excellent work from him. And what a great start from these guys. Excellent work. Let's back off on the fuel burn and on the tyres as well. We've got to be a bit mindful of the tyre situation, as Ricciardo's already been swamped back down into P9 after doing that. Not too surprising. You kind of expect the Red Bulls to do so. Massa's fallen away a little bit, and Perez is also having a quick look now as well. Kind of expect that, to be honest. We've backed them off. I'm a little bit concerned on the fuel already, and I want to try to get the fuel a little bit back to parity, because especially for Kvyat, if he starts getting blue flag towards the end of the race, then, you know, so be it. We can worry about that. We don't have to worry about his fuel after that. But Ricciardo, we'd have to be a little bit mindful of his fuel. It gains about 0.05 of a lap, 0.05 fuel per lap. As Ricciardo having a look at Massa. Massa seems to be quite out of place here. Not much going on, though, is there? Let's quickly cut to Kvyat, who's now seems to be in a little bit of little bit of space there. He's got Ocon behind him. He's got Stroll ahead of him. So we're battling a Williams ahead, and we've both got Force Indias behind. As Mercedes have used team orders to allow Hamilton to go past. You can just see them screaming past after the hairpin. We're only just climbing through it now. Vettel's still leading this race, though. Let's quickly cut back to Ricciardo. So we've got to be a little bit mindful because of the temperature. It is quite hot today. It's 31 degrees at the moment. So it's going to be quite difficult maintaining these tyre temperatures. They're going to be overheating very, very quickly. As Ricciardo's already down to 81% on his tyres. So that's something that we're really going to have to look at. As he has a look on the inside of Massa. But Massa just about holds him off. Yeah, so we're going to have to look at that in the off-season. We're going to have to look at improving our tyre wear situation, because we do seem to burn through tyres awfully quickly. But we seem to have sort of settled in a little bit, so let's speed things up. We've got 54 laps remaining. And I'm just going to turn that around fractionally so you can see on the main straight, because the stands are in the way there, so you can't quite see the cars. So we're currently due to pick up 2 points, which closes us to within 6 of McLaren. Now, we do need to pick up... I don't know, I'm assuming that McLaren will have had a higher finish than us at some point. So if we finish level on 24 points, that might not be enough. So we really need to pick up 3 points at some point in the remaining 4 races. Hopefully it'll be this race, because then that would really take a load off my mind. As Ricciardo is just starting to get a little bit frustrated behind Massa at the moment. But they're on the same tyres, and he's not really doing very much. I kind of expected Massa to pull away a little bit, because the Williams is a better car, as Perez has now gone past, so that's not very good. That's not what we wanted at all, as Danny Kvyat's dropped as well. So, funnily enough, both Force Indias get past at Toro Rosso almost at the same time. So I'm going to make this manual. Let's make ERS manual and get on with it. Where are we? We want to do it on that main straight. That's where it's going to be, isn't it? Tyre wear, we're going to bump that up a little bit, and we're going to use ERS. We close up, and we get past him, so we're back up into P9 now. Can we hold it there? That's the important thing, because Perez is going to come flying back at this rate. Now, for sure, for the Red Bull, he's right there. He's for the taking, actually. He's not doing very well. Red Bull are going to notice quite a change in their point scoring ability now that Ricciardo's gone. I don't think Vachor is quite good enough, to be honest. So we should be able to get him. Ricciardo is the better driver, but he's in the worst car. And Vachor is the complete opposite. Let's burn through a little bit again as Perez is coming back. So Ricciardo getting onto the blower. He's getting a little bit frustrated about Vachor, because as you can see, Massa's starting to pull away a little bit now. He's got a 2-second lead over Vachor. So we really need to get past him. And of course, it's so difficult maintaining these tyre temperatures. That's the hardest thing. As Ricciardo will be diving into the pits very, very quickly. And we've still got many laps to go. So we're going to have to sort of two-stop this, I think. So I think the best option now is to go onto the softs. And then go on to the super softs right at the end. I think that might be the best plan of action for Ricciardo. As he's holding off on 9th place. Perez is still there, though, as Perez has used his ERS to get past, and he's off into the distance. And now he's going to be threatening with Vachor as well. That's really frustrating. Kvyat's not doing too bad on his tyres. I mean, he's pretty similar to Perez, as you can see. Grosjean's got a little bit worse. Interestingly, Button's dead last and Alonso's 16th, so that's great for us, but we are only picking up 1 point at the moment, which isn't going to be enough. We need at least 2. I mean, we're hoping that the race will come to us, though. That's the important thing. We're doing okay for pace. Both our drivers are doing very well for pace, actually, except Kvyat. Kvyat's losing a little bit. He must be getting a little bit stuck behind Ocon here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the ERS on that straight after the hairpin, just like we did with Ricciardo, and hope that he can get past Ocon. As he's having a look, but he's just pulled a little bit too far away, so we're going to be burning through it just to close him back up again, and he gets us by him on the inside. That's excellent, so he moves back up into 12th. And now he's got Stroll ahead of him. But then after Stroll, there's Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's got 4 seconds on Stroll. So if Kvyat can get past Stroll, then he's got a nice bit of clean track that he can start laying down some laps. As Ricciardo's pace is starting to drop off a little bit. Sergio Perez has crashed. He is out of the race. That is perfect for us. I didn't see that. It would have been on here, so I will, when I'm putting this back together, I will show the replay if we can. So Ricciardo's back up into 9th. That's great for us. We're due to pick up 2 points now. And Kvyat's very, very close to a points position because Stroll is in 10th. So once Kvyat gets past Stroll, we've got an opportunity here, but we're going to have to back off on these tyres. They're getting very, very hot again, aren't they? So Ricciardo is sort of having a race on his own a little bit. So let's burn through some ERS just to build up a little bit of a lead again. So we can kind of forget about him. We do have to come back to him shortly because his tyres will start to degrade to needing to pit very, very shortly. But Kvyat needs to do something here. But it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Oh, this is frustrating, isn't it? Righto, let's have a quick look. Let's burn through some ERS. Let's get nice and close on this straight. See how good our engine is. It's not as good as the Williams, quite clearly. So Daniel Ricciardo's overtaken Verstappen, but Verstappen did dive into the pits, so that's why Ricciardo's up to 8th. Kvyat's now in the points, but you can expect to see Verstappen come storming back before you know it. So this is where we kind of need to push on Ricciardo a little bit, just to see if there's a possibility of an undercut. I don't think there is, because I think Verstappen was too far up the road. But you never know, and I think if we can really, really push him, we may be able to get something out of this. So his pace was not too bad at the end of that last lap. So we're going to come up. So there you go, he's a 10th up on his first sector. But we're going to have to pit Ricciardo now. So as you can see, the softs, you can expect to pit around 30 laps in. So that'll be taking us to lap 47. Then you got 11 laps on the super soft tyres. So that works out pretty well. So it looks like it's a 2-stopper. Add a little bit of charge and a fast stop. So almost certainly we're going to be seeing another mistake. I can guarantee that's what's going to happen. Let's hope not, though. Fingers crossed, everyone. Fingers and toes for no mistakes. And there was a mistake. It wasn't too costly, though. But another mistake. I actually don't know what to do here. So we dropped down to 13th. Which, not very good. Not very good at all. I genuinely don't know why there's so many mistakes. It's incredible. But it wasn't too costly. I think it was 3.3 seconds or something, so it's not the end of the world, quite frankly. But now we've got to focus on Kvyat a little bit. So he's a 53% tyre wear. He's doing very, very well on these soft tyres. So he's going to be looking at going to lap 30, maybe a little bit over. And it's going to be touch and go for him about maybe doing a 1-stopper or maybe just going soft. That could be an option as well. So you're looking at lap 29 is the halfway point. So if we could get to lap 29 for Kvyat, maybe pit him again onto the soft tyres, then that works out really, really well. But now we just got to play this waiting game and hope that the race comes back to Ricciardo a little bit after that mistake. Because he is closing in on Grosjean there. And once he gets close, I'll be able to do the ERS again on that straight after the hairpin, just up here, just here. You know, as soon as he gets around this corner, just go bang onto the ERS, and hopefully he can close in on Grosjean a little bit, because Grosjean and Sainz both have to pit. So Kvyat's getting a little bit frustrated because he's really stuck behind this Williams now. So let's turn the auto off. And let's see if we can have one final go, because he's got Verstappen behind him. So Verstappen's going to be having a look very, very shortly. Let's go. He's got ERS. He's got, I don't know how much percentage he had. Not enough, though. He just cannot get near, can he? Really frustrating. Ricciardo's doing okay. And he's still got Grosjean ahead of him. But look how close he is. So we're going to turn the auto off now. And we're going to hope for a pretty decent lap here. Let's bump both tyres up a little bit. Let's hope that Ricciardo can go for it. So there you go. Grosjean's using his ERS as well. We're going to be using it to close back up to him. We're closing up. We get ahead side by side. We've got a nose ahead and we get through. That's what we wanted to see. We've got a bit of a breathing space to science now. So that's what you wanted to see. So now we can go back to conserve, back to auto on the ERS. As Kvyat's doing fine. It's going to be touch and go for the lap 29, but I definitely think soft, do the one stopper is the way to go. And hopefully that'll come back to help Kvyat. Because you could possibly see... I'm trying to sort of have a look here. I think Kvyat may come out around Ricciardo again. I'm just kind of wondering because you've got Massa who's just pitted. As Kvyat's really racing very well, but he's not conserving as much fuel as we would have liked. So we've got to go into a little bit of conservation mode on the fuel. So we're going to kind of expect Verstappen to overtake him any minute, to be honest. Decisions, eh? As Kvyat's now defending 8th from Verstappen. We've got to expect Verstappen to get past now. So let's use our ERS just to hold 8th place for as long as we can. And he's at 36% tyre wear, so getting to lap 29 is going to be quite difficult, but it's manageable for the one stopper. Look how close Ricciardo is. So when Kvyat goes into the pits, Ricciardo will move up one place. Science is still going around on those mediums, so we need to close up to Science because he's going to be doing a one stopper as well. Ricciardo needs to build a bit of a lead over him if possible. I'm really unsure what we can do here. So Kvyat's not doing too bad. He's complaining about vibrations, but everything's fine. So Massa managed to get ahead of Kvyat. So Kvyat's dropped down into P9. And he's going to use ERS just to hold off Verstappen that little bit longer. As Massa has got past Stroll up the top there. So Stroll will be able to pit. Vachor's going to have to pit soon as well. So Vachor was quite close to Ricciardo before, wasn't he? And so Ricciardo, I think when Vachor dives into the pits, which he must be doing soon, there you go. So he is going to be going into the pits to see exactly how much time Ricciardo's lost. As he closes up on Science. Can't do anything about that. So here we go. So now we can really push Kvyat a little bit because we're at to lap 29 now. And he's doing very well on those soft tyres. So let's push him to see exactly what he can achieve. As we're now 10th and 12th, I feel that a two-stopper for Ricciardo isn't the best idea. But we'll worry about him a little bit later. Let's worry about Kvyat because now we've bumped him up. We're going to try and burn through these tyres quite quickly. We're going to try and see what we can do. We need an undercut to pass for sure. Well, I hate to say it, mate, but Vachor ain't stopping again. So the undercut's not going to happen. But we've got ERS. We've got 12% here. So we may be able to nab him here. Maybe. But it doesn't look like we can. We're having a look. We're juking left, juking right, but we can't do anything. We have a look on the outside. Nothing going there. And it looks like we may have to pit him now. He's having another sneaky look, isn't he? He's not giving up on this move, and he does make it stick. Good for him. But I think we're going to have to pit Kvyat, and we're going to pit him onto the softs again. There's still 27 laps remaining, so he should be able to get to the end quite easily. Let's add a little bit of charge and a fast stop. Please make this work. Let's burn through that last little bit. And we'll dive into the pits. As Ricciardo goes past. It was a good stop for Kvyat, and where is he going to come out? He's going to come out in 12th place. That's not too bad. He's got Alonso on worn mediums behind him. So Ricciardo moves back up into the points, but he's 1.5 seconds off from Vachor, and more than likely he's going to have to pit again. So that's a bit concerning. And Kvyat, I'm really concerned about his fuel. He just cannot seem to conserve fuel to save his life at the moment. Same with Ricciardo, actually. I might have to back him off a touch. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. We're doing okay. I think we might be struggling for the points at the moment. I think Kvyat's our best hope because he's going to the end now. But when you look, he's 12 seconds off from Ricciardo. So you've got to assume that Sainz is going to move up to 10th. Kvyat will move up to 11th. Stroll does have to pit, but Kvyat's a long way behind. He's 15 seconds behind Stroll at the moment. So that could hurt us. Verstappen will have to pit again. Maybe. Yeah, Massa most likely. Quite a few of these guys will have to all pit again. But I just can't see us getting the points because I don't think the two stoppers going to work for Ricciardo. I really, really don't. Now, how long did he go for on those super softs? He went 18 laps, and there's 23 laps remaining. So what I'm going to suggest is that we go full attack mode now, so that we can go onto the super softs for, let's say, 15 laps, let's say. So I'm turning the auto off because we're going to need to manage this. Same with Kvyat. Now, Kvyat's got, like, no one around him, so we can burn through all of that because he may be able to close in on Sainz a little bit. But Ricciardo, meanwhile, we want to sort of, when there's, again, sort of 15 laps to go, something like that, that's when we want to pit him. Because he's not going to be able to go to the rest of the race, unfortunately. Let's get the ERS going again. Let's really get him flying around. So Stroll has gone into the pits. And Kvyat just gets ahead of him. And so does Ocon, actually. There you go. Now Sainz will have to pit. So Kvyat may be getting into the points. Ricciardo maybe not at the moment. But we are being a bit mindful of the fuel situation. Because Kvyat may be running out of fuel. Ricciardo is battling hard with Vasseur and he makes it stick and he gets past him on the inside. But Vasseur is coming back. Ricciardo's not giving up. He moves up into 8th. So Kvyat's just behind him now in 10th place. So Sainz has pitted. So Kvyat's going to the end of the race. So Kvyat's in a good position here. Ricciardo, meanwhile, he's got a little bit of work to do. I'm quietly optimistic about him, though. There's still quite a few laps to go. But look at his pace. His pace is dropping off, but there's 19 laps, so it's a bit too soon to be pitting him, I think. You do have to be mindful. I think Ricciardo will probably come out behind Stroll. Let's have a look. If we pitted him now, estimated position after the pit stop will be 9th. So you've got to assume a stuff up. So you've got to assume Kvyat may get ahead of him. As Massa's also gone into the pit, so Ricciardo's moved up to 7th now. Let's have a quick look at Kvyat. He's got a totally clean track around him. 18 laps to go now. So Ricciardo is getting quite close, so he's going to be able to go around one more time. And then we pit him onto the super soft tyres. And he'll have fresh rubber compared to all of those around him. So this is where we pit him. This is his last set of super softs as well. Add a bit of charge. Fast stop. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed this works. Because he's up to 7th. Kvyat's having a stormer as well. He's sitting in 10th. And he should be able to hold that off. Because Stroll is burning through his tyres quite quickly. He's 2.8 seconds ahead of Stroll. So that's pretty good. If he can hold 2.8, 2.9, that'll be fantastic. I'm still a little bit concerned about his fuel, though. I think he might be running out of fuel before the end of this race. But Ricciardo, good stop. He comes out in 10th place, so he's got 11th place. That's not what I wanted to see, unfortunately. So he does have a little bit of work to do, but he should be able to conserve his tyres just that little bit better than Stroll. So he should be closing in quite quickly. In fact, what I'm going to do, let's turn that off and let's really start ramping up the speed a little bit. Because I don't think Kvyat's going to make it to the end of the race. I think his fuel is actually looking quite dire. He's just not conserving as much fuel as we'd hoped. It's really, really struggling. So I think Kvyat's going to run out of fuel. And that's my mobile phone I apologise for that. Very, very poor of me. I should be focusing on this, shouldn't I? Ricciardo is closing in his pace. Look at his pace. Look how good that is. He's catching up to Stroll here. Kvyat's doing so well. If only he could conserve fuel a little bit better. But I think Ricciardo, Kvyat's going to run out of fuel. So Kvyat will drop out. So Ricciardo will go into the 10th. We'll go into 10th place. The Sissotto Junior's crashed out. I mean, look how far behind they are. De Vries is 252 seconds behind. I don't even know how that happens. I really don't. I mean, I was hoping for like a blue flag. Let's see where Kvyat is. There's Kvyat there. And there's first place Hamilton. So if he can get there in time, it may be touch and go for Kvyat. But unfortunately, it's looking less and less likely because there's only 10 or so laps to go. As Stroll is very, very close to overtaking Kvyat here. And then it'll be our two drivers, Kvyat and Ricciardo, side by side. And you can expect to see Ricciardo making a move. So there's 11 laps to go. Hamilton and Vettel are very, very close. We need to get ahead of Stroll before they catch up. But I just can't see it happening, unfortunately. Let's bump his fuel back up a little bit to medium for Ricciardo. Because he's almost back to parity now. And he's having a sneaky look. He needs to make this move stick before the blue flags. But unfortunately, Ricciardo has now been hit with the blue flag. That's going to really hurt us, unfortunately. But the good thing is it does mean that we'll have a little bit of fuel. So let's go up into full overtake mode. We're going to run a very, very risky manoeuvre. We have to yield for Vettel as well, but we're not giving up without a fight. As they've gone screaming past there. So that's Ricciardo's race effectively stuffed. But that'll work well for Kvyat with his fuel. As he's back side right behind Stroll. Man, I don't like this at all. I do not like this at all. As Kvyat's getting blue flag now as well. Come on, Ricciardo. How's Kvyat doing? Kvyat's struggling with his fuel at the moment. There they are. They're side by side. Our drivers are side by side. Please don't crash, guys. I would appreciate that. So Ricciardo's into the points now. But we are sniffing 2 points. We're so close to Stroll, it's ridiculous. There you go. He's having a look. He's having a look. He's just about going to make it stick. He makes it stick. We move up into 9th. Now, what can we do with Kvyat? Can we do it with Kvyat? I'm not too hopeful about his fuel situation, though. That's why we have to be a little bit mindful of it. But look how close he is to Stroll. He may be able to make this work. He's so close to a points position. He's run a very, very good race. We've only got a few laps to go, though, so Kvyat's going to be so touch and go with his fuel. But look how close he is now. Don't do anything stupid. And you can use your ERS. And you can get past Stroll. He gets past him. We're 9th and 10th. We're due to pick up 3 points now. We just have to hold this. So let's back them both off a little bit. Now let's hope that the fuel doesn't come back to bite us. It looks like we're going to be just fine. It's going to be a bit touch and go. But it looks like we're going to make it work. As we're going to do ERS for both of them, just to make sure that that Stroll doesn't threaten Kvyat. It looks like Ricciardo's pulled a bit away from Stroll, so he should be safe. There's 4 laps to go. We can bump him up a touch. Kvyat's doing fine as well. And I think we're doing okay. And I think Kvyat's going to be just okay for fuel or it's going to be on the final corner. He's going to do something. He's just going to pull over to the side with no fuel, and I couldn't bear that. So Alonso is for the McLaren. He's the best placed McLaren in 15th place. Do we have any more blue flags to worry about? Yes, we've got Bottas and Hamilton right behind Stroll. There goes Stroll. Stroll's getting blue flagged. So we're going to have to be a bit mindful here. So Stroll's backed right off now. He's 5 seconds behind Kvyat. And we quickly back off Ricciardo on the fuel as well, as Kvyat's getting blue flagged. So somehow he is back in parity. I would never have guessed it. Come on, make that move stick. He does. He's got another blue flag, but look how close Stroll is now. Kvyat's going to be having to battle quite bravely here. We're going to up the fuel just a little bit to fight off Stroll in 11th place. We're going to may even have to use a little bit of ERS as well. Come on, Kvyat. And that's going to be it. Ricciardo crosses the line 9th. Kvyat! Oh, do not do that to me. Please do not do that to me. Oh, my goodness me. He just clung on to 10th place there. Vettel comes home with the win. Then it's Hamilton and Bottas. Raikkonen in 4th. Hulkenberg very, very well in 5th place. And Bashir actually did very well too. I was mocking him earlier on, but he did very, very well with that one stopper. And Kvyat's one stopper really, really worked, as you can see there. Coming in P10, he started down in 15th place. Oh, that was a very nerve-wracking finish. But the one stopper worked. Two stopper just about worked for Ricciardo, but it certainly wasn't that great, was it? We could have done a little bit better. But that's 3 points, and that's brought us, again, a little bit closer to the McLarens, who finished all the way down there in 16th and 17th. As De Vries, what happened there? He broke the rules. So Rapax broke the rules. So 9th and 10th, 3 points. That's excellent. We help Ricciardo maintain 5th place. He's got 5th place sewn up in the bag, hasn't he? And Danny Kvyat in 14th. He moves ahead of Pierre Gasly. They were on the same points before, as you remember. So that's the way it stands at the moment. We're 5 points away from McLaren with 3 races to go. I sniff P7. I really, really do. Time will tell, I suppose. Yes, thanks for watching, guys. That was another nerve-wracking finish right at the end there. There wasn't much in that. But make sure you tune in next weekend, and we'll keep putting that pressure on McLaren, and hopefully we can dwindle down those 5-point deficit to McLaren, and we may be able to nab P7.